Hello, Mark. I'm Jason, 49 from A class. Now I'm going to read the article this week. Now let's begin. TED, watch, read, attend, participate, about, log in, sign up, return to talk, subtitles and transcript. Bill Gates, the next outbreak, we have not ready. When I was a kid, the disaster we worried about most was a nuclear war. That's why we had a barrel like this down in our basement, filled with cans of food and water. When the nuclear attack came, we are supposed to go downstairs, hunker down, and eat out of that barrel. Today, the greatest risk of global catastrophe doesn't look like this. Instead, it looks like this. If anything kills over 10 million people in the next few decades, it's most likely to be a highly infectious virus rather than a war. Not missiles, but microbes. Now, part of the reason for this is that we have investing a huge amount in nuclear deterrence. But we are actually investing very little in the system to stop an epidemic. We are not ready for the next epidemic. Let's look at Ebola. I'm sure all of you read about it in the newspaper. Lots of tough challenges. I follow it carefully through the case analysis tool we use to check polio eradication. And as you look at what went on, the problem wasn't that there was a system that didn't work well enough. The problem was that we didn't have a system at all. In fact, there's some pretty obvious key missing pieces. We didn't have a group of epidemiologists ready to go, who would have gone see what the disease was and seeing how far he had spread. The case reports came in on paper. It was very delayed before they were put online and they were extremely inaccurate. We didn't have a medical team ready to go. We didn't have a way of preparing people. Now, medicine Sans Frontiers do a great job of orchestrating volunteers, but even so, we are far slower than we should have been getting the thousands of workers into these countries. And a large epidemic would require us to have hundreds and thousands of workers. There was no one there to look at treatment approaches, no one to look at a diagnosis, and no one to figure out what tools should be used. As an example, we could have taken the blood of survivors, processed it, and put that plasma back into people to protect them. But that was never tried. So there was a lot that was missing. And these things are really a global failure. The WHO funding to monitor epidemics, but not to do this thing I talk about. Now, in the movies, it's quite different. There's a group of handsome epidemiologists ready to go. They move in, they save the day, but that's just poor Hollywood. The failure to prepare could allow the next epidemic to be dramatically more devastating than Ebola. Let's look at the progression of Ebola over this year. About 10,000 people died, and nearly all were in the three West African countries. There are three reasons why it didn't spread more. The first is that there was a lot of heroic work by the health workers. They found people and preventing more infections. The second is that the nature of the virus. Ebola doesn't spread through the air, and by the time you are contagious, the most people are so sick they are bedridden. Third, it doesn't get into many urban areas, and there was just luck. If it had gotten into a lot of more urban areas, the case number will have been much larger. So next time, we might be so lucky. You can have a virus where people feel well enough while there are infections that get on a plane or go to the market. The source of virus could be a natural epidemic like Ebola, or it could be a bioterrorism, or it could be bioterrorism. So there were things that would literally make things 1,000 times worse. In fact, let's look at a model of virus spread through the air, like Spanish flu back into 1980. So here's what would happen. It would spread throughout the world very quickly. Very quickly. And you can see over 30 million people die from that epidemic. So this is a serious problem. We should be concerned. But in fact, we can build a really good response systems. We have the benefit of all the science and the technology that we talk about here. We got cell phones to get information from the public and get information out to land. We have satellite maps where we can see where people are and where they are moving. We have advances in the biology that should dramatically change the turnaround time to look at the pathogen and be able to make drugs and vaccines that fit for lab pathogens. So we can have tools, but those tools need to be put into an overall global health systems, and we need preparedness. The best lessons, I think, on how to get prepared are again what we do for war. For soldiers, we have full time waiting to go. We have research that can scale us up to large numbers. NATO has a mobile unit that can deploy very rapidly. NATO does a lot of work to check are people well trained, do they understand about fields and logistics and the same radio frequencies, so they are absolutely ready to go. So those are kinds of things we need to deal with an academic. What are those key pieces? First, we need to strong health systems in poor countries. There's less where mothers can give birth safely, kids can get all their vaccines, but also where we will see it outbreak very early on. We need a medical research course. Lots of people who got a training and background who are ready to go with an appetite. And then we need to pair those medical people with the military. Taking advantage of the military's ability to move fast to largest and secure areas. We need to do simulations, germ gains, not war gains, so that we will see where the holes are. The last time a germ gains was done in the United States was back into 2001. And it didn't go so well. So far, the score is germs 1, people 0. Finally, we need to lots of advanced R&D in areas of vaccines and diagnostics. There were some big breakthroughs like adeno-associated virus that could be worked very quickly. Now, I don't have an exact budget for what this will cost, but I'm quite sure it was very modest compared to the potential harm. The World Bank estimated that if we have a worldwide flu epidemic, global wealth will go down by over $3 trillion and we have millions and millions of deaths. This investment offers significant benefit beyond just being ready for the epidemic. The primary healthcare, the R&D, those things will reduce global health inequity. The global health inequity that makes the world more just as well as more safe. So I think this will be absolutely to be a priority. There's no need to panic. We don't have a hurricanes or the spaghetti or go down into the basement. But we need to get going because the time is on our side. In fact, if there's one positive thing that can come out of Ebola epidemic, that is that it can serve as an early warning. a wake-up call to get ready. If we start now, we can be ready for next academic. Thank you. Thank you for listening.